Greetings, 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 and welcome back to Travel with Tay Tay. Thank you so much for joining me on this video. This is not an easy video for me to do because you all know that, this is my life. I have not received my investment monies back, even though some people have, right? But this video is tell the truth, shame the devil. I've been quiet for a long time, and it's because I have other things going on. I'm trying to do things behind the scenes legally, and things are not moving as fast as I wanted it to, but that's neither here nor there. I have been quiet long enough. I've been trying to get all of this evidence together. It is a lot, y'all. It's a lot. There are multiple people that are involved. It is a doozy. So the Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil series is going to be quite a bit of people. And I'm just going to show evidence on everything that I say. I won't be like Shrek, right? Just make up stuff. I'm just going to give you the evidence and you can make your own decision. So it's been brought to my attention that the infamous international criminal Art Cathey is in Rwanda doing the same thing. Not guest houses, but the fact that she is trying to make money when you have not paid me back. The main investor, Art Cathey, you said yourself out of your own bird-faced mouth this.
You got to pay the cost to be the boss. And for a lot of the investors, a lot of them things that need to get right. Of course, we got stuff in litigation and taking care of that. But I said, I'm going to pay this stuff out of my pocket as well. So, I've just been invested for the last few weeks and things handled. And it's really just business. That's business. So just to let y'all know, we're getting that up to date. And I'm glad that I have happy, news to report to you guys. So everything is being taken care of with our investors. And of course, I'm moving forward. Now, we done got all that business and everything out the way. People that's talking about Art's a scammer. People that's talking about, oh, where's the money? Like all that type of stuff. If they didn't see my live video 2 days ago about why the black man deserves unlimited blowjobs for the next 5 years, and I addressed that, I'm paying the cost to be the boss, and we are taking care of that, and we handling business and moving forward. So all the investors are happy. They can contact me. They've been contacting me, and I'm having those tough conversations with them about that money, but we're able to get through that peacefully, gracefully.
So where's my money? Where's my money? Because I know for a fact, Art Cathey, that you paid an investor back. Once that investor said that their legal team is going to handle their affairs from now on, you contacted them, didn't you? Speaking very nicely, right? Not the rah-rah Art Cathey that we see on YouTube. You paid them back. It took almost a year, but you paid them back. So out of your own mouth, you say, I'm going to pay the investors back because that's just good business. Well, why haven't you contacted me or any of the other investors that have not been paid back? You nor your sidekick, Kwesi, because we know y'all were working together. I don't know if you all are still working together, but we know that you all were working together. It was called Art Cathey Heals. Do we not see this? That's her name. So she thinks that she's going to walk away scot-free? No, boo-boo. There's extradition rights in Rwanda as well. So now you have your mother scamming with you. Is this the same mom you wouldn't let stay in your 2-bedroom apartment? That's the 2-bedroom where she was staying, y'all. You wouldn't let your mother stay with you. What type of daughter are you? Seriously, what type of sister are you? What type of sister-in-law are you? Because when you would not let your mother stay with you, she was in the hands of predator Kwesi Boyd. So I heard that Kwesi put the mother up. Kwesi put the mother up in for 2 nights. So then I hear, oh, the mother got kicked out. And I'm like, well, what did she do? He only paid for 2 nights. But we also know that he had you, Art Cathey, in the dark when we first got there. We didn't know that he was intentionally riding past the 2-bedroom apartment that you were staying in and looking, oh, the lights are still out. Now what? And I was like, well, why are there lights everywhere else? But I didn't know where the place was. I didn't know where he was talking about. But I'm looking at the street and I'm like, well, there's lights everywhere else. But you called back, didn't you? Begging for money, you broke bastard. You called back twice, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Can you put lights on my, can you send me some money for cash power? Y'all are something else. And when the FBI comes after you and the IRS, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh. Oh, I will be in court every day, front row and center. But I'm going to laugh because y'all scamming days are coming to an end. So if you all want to know how to file your complaint, follow this video. I'm going to talk you through it, but follow this video. You're going to start with visiting www.ic, as in cat, 3.gov. In this video, I'm going to show you how to file a complaint. And if you are over the age of 60, how to file a complaint for elderly fraud. From this page, you're going to choose the first one that says submit an internet crime complaint with the IC3. You're going to choose the first blue button, which is ic3.gov. I'm going to start with the frequently asked questions so that everyone is clear on if they are able to file a complaint. These questions will be answered more in detail on the next page. I'm going to start with prior to filing a complaint. Now, these are the questions that's under that category. Who should file a complaint with the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3? You may file a complaint with the IC3 if you believe you have been a victim of an internet crime or if you want to file on behalf of another person you believe has been such a victim. So if someone is not computer savvy or they want me to file the complaint, just contact me, travelwithtete@gmail.com, and I will do it for you. Next question. What details will I be asked to include in my complaint? The IC3's ability to process your complaint will be based upon the accuracy and completeness of the information provided. The following is the type of information we ask for in the complaint form. For example, victim's name, address, telephone, and email. This will be your information if you are the victim, so it would be me, and then, or another person if you are filing on behalf of a third party. I am filing for a few investors. Financial transaction information will be needed, such as account information, transaction date and amount, who received the money, which would be Kwesi Boyd, Art Cathey. The next is the subject's name, address, telephone, email, website, and IP address. I have that information as well. Subject is the person allegedly committing the internet crime. So that would be Kwesi Boyd or Art Cathey. They want specific details on how you were victimized. So this is a time that you can tell your story of how you interacted with Kwesi Boyd, Art Cathey, or any of their affiliates. Did you receive your money back? Did you not receive your money back? Email headers are next, so any email correspondence you receive from Art Cathey, Kwesi Boyd, that should be included. Lastly, any other relevant information you believe is necessary to support your complaint. Next question. How does the IC3 define internet crime? Internet crime include any illegal activity involving one or more components of the internet, such as websites, chat rooms, and/or email. Internet crime involves the use of the internet to communicate false or fraudulent representation to consumers. That's the main thing with Invest Relocate Africa. These crimes may include, but are not limited to, advance fee schemes, non-delivery of goods or services, computer hacking, or employment business opportunity schemes. Now, Invest Relocate Africa falls under all those things except for computer hacking that I know of. Maybe there was some computer hacking. Allegedly. I have no idea. Can I file a complaint if I am a citizen of the United States but have been victimized by an individual or company outside of the United States? Now, this is a big part of Invest Relocate Africa. If either the victim or the alleged subject of the internet crime is located within the United States, you may file a complaint with the IC3. Now, in this case, many of the investors were located in the United States. So this gives you the opportunity and says, yes, you can file a complaint because you're in the United States, although Kwesi Boyd and Art Cathey is in and out of the United States. Can I file a complaint if I have been victimized by an individual or company in the United States, but I'm not a citizen of the United States? Yes, if either you or the alleged subject of the internet crime is located within the United States, regardless of citizenship, you may file a complaint with the IC3. This pertains to you, Judy. You are not a citizen of the United States, but I would suggest that you go after Art Cathey because she is in the United States. After a complaint is filed, what happens after I file a complaint? Train analysis at the IC3, review and research the complaints, disseminating information to federal, state, local, or international law enforcement or regulatory agencies for criminal, civil, or administrative action as appropriate. When will I be updated on the status of the investigation of my complaint? After you file a complaint with the IC3, the information is reviewed by an analysis and forwarded to. Now, it does say that the complaints filed via this website are processed and may be referred to federal, state, local, or international law enforcement or regulatory agencies for possible investigation. The IC3 does not conduct investigations and therefore is not able to provide the investigative status of a previously filed complaint. Investigation and prosecution is at the discretion of the receiving agencies. Will I be informed that my complaint was received successfully? Once you file a complaint with the Internet Crime Complaint Center, you will receive the following message at the top of your file complaint. Thank you for submitting your complaint to the IC3. Please save or print a copy for your records. This is the only time you will have to make a copy of your complaint. How do I cancel my complaint that I filed? Once a complaint has been filed with the IC3, it cannot be canceled. So thankfully, a lot of times people can be paid overseas, but no, once you file this complaint, it's filed. Related evidence. Should I retain evidence that supports my complaint or send it to the Internet Crime Complaint Center? IC3 does not collect evidence regarding complaints. While you may cut and paste information into your complaint, for example, email headers, you must be sure to keep all original documents in a secure location. In the event that a law enforcement agency or regulatory agency opens an investigation, they may request the information directly from you. In other words, hold on to your evidence. I was only able to be successful in previous cases because I had my evidence. What type of information would possibly be considered evidence in regard to my complaint? It is important that you keep any evidence that you may have related to your complaint. Evidence may include, but is not limited to, the following: canceled checks, credit card receipts, money order receipts, certified or email receipts, wire receipts, that will be us. Some people may have credit card receipts and things like that. Virtual currency receipts, prepaid card receipts, envelopes if you receive things FedEx, UPS, or UPS mail, faxes, pamphlets or brochures, phone bills, chat transcripts, and or telephone logs. They continue to emphasize keeping items in a safe location in the event you are requested to provide them for investigative or prosecutive evidence. And this is extremely important because you all know my story, and a home invasion, no one expects that, right? Urgent complaints. What should I do if I believe my complaint is time sensitive? After you file a complaint with the IC3, the information is reviewed by an analyst and forwarded to federal, state, local, or international law enforcement or regulatory agencies with jurisdiction as appropriate. As investigation and prosecution is at the discretion of the receiving agencies, please contact local law enforcement directly if you believe your matter is time sensitive. This is for me. So once all the complaints have been filed, I will be going down to the local FBI office, the local IRS office. COVID is lifting. COVID restrictions are lifting. I was always taught that a squeaky wheel gets attention. I know how to make noise. I know how to talk to people. I know how to be persistent. It's been how many years? Woo, child. That was a lot, right? I know, but I wanted to make sure that you all were fully aware of what was needed before you press the button to file the complaint, because the complaint will be easy to fill out. It's just you need to make sure you have all of your evidence before you do your complaint. We've pressed the back button and now we're ready to file the complaint. By clicking I accept, we are taken to the complaint referral form, Internet Crime Complaint Center. So anything that has a red asterisk beside it has to be filled out. We're going to start with our name, address, city, country, zip code, phone number, email address. That's the victim's information. The next section is where we enter our financial transaction or transactions. Please complete one section for each financial transaction or attempted transaction related to this complaint. If there are no financial details, please proceed to the next section. At first, everything is going to be in gray, so you can't type in the victim bank name and all of that information, but you have to choose what type of transaction it was. So as soon as I choose a wire transfer, then all of that opened up. You have to put your information, your account number, and then you have to put the recipient's bank information. I have to input at least 8 of these, at least 8. This next section is the description of incident. This is where you will provide a description of the incident and how you were victimized. Provide information not captured elsewhere in this complaint form. This is where you get a chance to really talk about your interaction with Art Cathey and Kwesi. For example, any correspondence, whether it's through messenger, email, text message, phone, this is where you will put that information. You will not only break down your investment and your interaction with them, and if you haven't received your funds back, and the communication that you sent to them, and whether you received something in return. This is where you can tell your story. Which of the following were used in this incident? Check all that apply. So it has spoofed email, similar domain, email intrusion, or other. Now, some people may have interacted with Invest Relocate Africa and Art Cathey Heals in different manners. So you have to check which one applies. And if it's not there, then click other and type it in. Keep your evidence because law enforcement agencies may require the originals. The next section is information about the subject or subjects who victimize you. Please complete one section for each subject who victimized you. If subject or subjects are not known, proceed to the next section. Now, I was victimized by Art Cathey Kwesi Boyd, and because there were other people that were paid, those names will go in there as well. That will be a surprise. You input the correct name, the business name, whether it was Invest Relocate Africa, whether it was Art Cathey Heals, whether it was the womb school. You put in the proper name, you put in the address. If you do not have, Kwesi Boyd does taxes, right? So you can use that address. Either way, you can contact them. Art Cathey has a business address. You can look it up in Atlanta with the guy. So there are ways for you to have an address. You fill that out, the zip code. I do have the IP address. That information will be in the Kwesi Boyd's video. The next section is for other information. The first one states, if an email was used in this incident, please provide a copy of the entire email, including full email headers. That is anytime you were in correspondence with the above person that victimized you, just provide that information. Next section, are there any other witnesses or victims to this incident? Now, This is where everyone comes into play, whether they were investors, whether they stayed at one of the properties. This is where I will put the name of every investor that invested into Invest Relocate Africa. If you have reported this incident to other law enforcement or government agencies, please provide the name, phone number, email, date reported, report number, etc. This is where I'm going to put that I reported it in the Gambia. When I am filling out this complaint for someone else, I would choose no, and that will open up the gray area and I can fill in that information. Privacy Act Statement. The collection of information on this form is authorized by one or more of the following statutes: false documents and identity theft, aggravated identity theft, credit card fraud, computer fraud, wire fraud, counterfeit and illicit labels, violation of intellectual property rights. FBI authorized to investigate violations of federal law for which it has primary investigative jurisdiction. FBI authorized to collect and maintain identification, criminal information, crime, and other records. That's good for me because I don't have a record. Bad for Kwesi, right? Bad for Art Cathey. The collection of this information is relevant and necessary to document and investigate complaints of internet-related crime. Submission of the information requested is voluntary. However, your failure to supply requested information may impede or preclude the investigation of your complaint by law enforcement agencies. What that means is, if you are slow to provide your evidence, then they may say, you ain't serious. Now the complaint is ready for your digital signature, you affirming that the information you provided is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge. And if there's any investors that were over 60, then we're coming after y'all for elderly abuse as well. From the IC3 homepage, you're going to choose elderly fraud. Any person age 60 or older could be considered a victim of elder fraud. IC3 reporting is key to identifying, investigating, and holding those responsible accountable for their actions. Click the red button and that will take you to the referral form. This form should be filled out the same way as the previous form. This form is just specifically for elder fraud. The victim will put in their personal information, put in their banking information, put in the recipient's banking information, and then fill it out the same way as the previous form. Y'all mess with the wrong one. You mess with the wrong one. I love the law, baby. I don't like sending our people to prison, but when you do some messed up stuff like this, I'm going to fight until I see y'all in handcuffs. And every investor will get their investment money returned to them. You think that you could just reinvent your life after you done stole all this money from all of these investors? Are you serious? And you call someone brain dead? I think you're already brain dead, because anybody in their right mind will not be scamming like this and just say, oh, whatever. And then you talk crazy to the investors. What? Were you raised by wolves? Where did you come from? That's not how business people handle their business. That's not how adults handle their business with your broke ass. How much did you go to the Gambia with? Didn't G say you were crying? What you crying for? Because you can't eat? You couldn't eat? You ran up out the Gambia in the middle of the night, didn't you? After you caused all this ruckus. But guess what? You can't run away from them alphabet boys, boo. You cannot run away from them. So you didn't let your mother stay there with you in the Gambia in the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. But now you're using your mom to get people to come to Rwanda? Well, guess what? I could write letters, boo. I'm going to write a letter to the Rwandan government so they will know what you did in the Gambia. Now, whether they do something, not my problem. But I'm going to let them know that you're going to have a pending FBI investigation going on, because what y'all did was international wire fraud. If it's not the FBI, then it does say that they're going to forward the information to the proper authorities. So you can't run. Art Cathey, Tanisha, whatever your name is, y'all can see it. You'll see it in the message that I'm about to show you. But Art Cathey and Kwesi Boyd and all of your goons that got money and the investors didn't get their money, all of your names will be defendants in my case in the States. And whomever, whatever investor wants to come in as a civil action, then let's do it. But I'm suing y'all myself for my money. That's if there's not restitution on the charges that y'all are going to get hit with. Because, I don't know if you all know, but some charges have restitution attached to it. So if these charges does not have restitution attached to it, then I will take money out of my savings account and I will sue you all. Because I was on my journey, but y'all were on y'all high horse and y'all decided to bother me while I was on my journey. So now I got a detour. Now I'm on y'all asses. Because real talk, the money that you took was for my early retirement.
Black people, it's time for us to just start feeling ourselves, walking in our purpose, walking and getting some generational wealth building and all that type of stuff. Like, it's time for us to get that popping right now.
So you think I'm just going to sit back and let this happen? No, it's more than YouTube, boo. It's more than YouTube. I learned how to write letters to bosses. So since you're in Rwanda, the Rwandan government, immigration, whomever will listen, will know what you did in the Gambia. So will the US government. When we released, the other YouTuber released a lot of information in regards to Art Cathey's mother. Now, with what Art Cathey's mother said to me in the restaurant, I don't know if she's easily influenced or she's like her daughter. I have no idea. But she said something very inappropriate and I checked her. Then all of a sudden, oh, we in the wrong restaurant. I said, I know you are. And they left. She left with Solomon. Solomon is one of Kwesi Boyd's boys that work for him. They treat this boy like crap. They talk to him any old kind of way. But because he's poor, he accepts it. Isn't that sad? But you all will see the names of every employee because I have that. I'll show you one now. So the fact that Art Cathey's brother sent me a message on Messenger, the fact that, and he made some comments under the post, the fact that Art Cathey's sister-in-law sent me a message, it shows that she's just foul. She doesn't have anyone backing her. Does she have her child? Where's her husband? I'm not Art Cathey's husband. Anna means where? Anna means where? I'm not Art Cathey's husband. Art Cathey, you want to sit there just like Shrek and all these other stupid people that don't use their brain, just ignorant. You want to sit there and talk about other people's lives. We can pick yours apart too, boo. But I'll let the alphabet boys do that. I'll let them go through all of your financials. I'll let them do that. They're more qualified than I am. I will just be sitting in court smiling with my beautiful natural hair and my red lipstick, smiling because y'all are going down. Till next time, you all, I have some more coming for you. Shrek, Kwesi Boyd, the real teeth of the Gambia. Yeah, I'm tired of y'all. So, Tell the Truth, Shame the Devil series. And y'all will be the spotlight.